Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another VoD review. Today we have a either silver or gold Widow. I'm not sure. I'm gonna say gold just to be safe. Before we start, I just want to say if anyone wants a VoD review of their own, let me know either in the comments or join my Discord in the description. With that being said, let's just get right to it. On Widow, I kind of like to just start up here on this map. Up here. And it looks like you're getting ready to grapple up there. That's fine at the beginning of the map because no one's going to dive you in the first 10-15 seconds. You'll be able to get your cooldown back. And this gives you a little ounce of unpredictability. So that's fine. Okay, going for the little cheesy Venomine thing. That's fine. Try to find out what the DPS are first. Okay, you see Genji and you're about to see Kree. You know you don't have any really pressure on you until Genji starts coming for you. So just keep distance, take your time, and you know, take your shots. You don't have to strafe. Like, I see you're strafing a lot. This is something I've noticed a lot recently with lowering DPS is there's no pressure on them, and I see them just constantly pressing AD, making it harder for them to hit their shots. When you don't have pressure on you, just what's it called? Just let your left hand do nothing and just straight up aim. Trust your aim. Okay, now you see the Genji. Good job really like turning on that Genji. That was awesome. You run into your Venomine maybe. Good kill, grab the health pack to your left. If you get dove here, you're dead. So I would grab the health pack if I were you. So, missing 70 HP, and you know Widow's fucking fragile as hell now that she got the minus 25. I guess be more aware of your HP there. I'm not saying I predicted that you're gonna get shit on, but like, I was telling you grab the health pack and it just wasn't happening. I think your positioning there was fine. I think what you should have done, like I said, is when there's no pressure, you don't have to strafe. Like I said, there's a McCree and a Genji, and they're not really diving you. You have like all the time in the world with no pressure on you. You're allowed to just line up your shots without moving. And then obviously be aware of your HP. If you get domed by McCree, that's gonna be 140 damage, but since he was far, it's gonna be like, I mean, a little less than that. But the point still stands. You're missing a solid chunk of HP, and you didn't get to the health pack. I like that you're poking there. That's fine. You can keep doing it. You don't have to back up yet. I guess you did. That's whatever. On second point, I don't really like Widow, but I'm not going to try to tell you to swap your character to fit the, what's it called? To fit the map. If you want to play a certain character, I'm going to try to help you get better at said certain character. I'm not going to tell you what the best is in this situation. Oh, good try. Same thing I said on first point stands here. Just line up your shots and shoot. Let's go back a little bit. Let's see when this hog is approaching the point and you're kind of just... It's like, whoops. So like here, you're walking back left and right. And it might not seem like a big deal. But again, there's no pressure on you and it's going to fuck up your aim because you have to counteract your aim. Or counteract your movement with your aim. And that just makes it more complicated than it needs to be. Because then you're focusing on your aim and the opponent's, or your movement as well as the opponent's movement. There's just no reason for all that stress. If there's no pressure on you, stand still. It's going to make your accuracy shoot up. Alright, swap with sights, but it is what it is. It's just sights. Now here, you could test way too early. You know that this fight is fucking down the drain. What I want you to do, I try to get my cursor, hold on. You see my cursor? You want to let this bar fill up all the way just until the very end, and then you touch. The reason you do that is if you go in right now, like as soon as you can, you're going to go into a 1v6. If you wait till the very, very end, you're going to maybe come back with 3 or 4 people, and you could like play off the advantages of having other people. But because you go in so early, you just went into a 1v6, and you're probably going to get like destroyed. It doesn't look like that's going to make a big difference here. Like, 3 of your people just died. Your McCree, your Roadhog, and your Brig. But just in the future, wait until the 2 ticks are, what's it called? Wait until 2 ticks are connected, or capped or whatever, and then go in. This way you have some kind of backup from your team. Because real quick, actually, it looks like it might have mattered. Think about it. If you wait, let's say you have 4 seconds till it caps. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then your Rhine could have touched. Your Rhine touching would have took all the cooldowns out. You wouldn't have got naded. Might have not got flashbanged, and then you could have been able to do something. Like I said, let your team come back from spawn before going into a 1v6. Let them get very, very close to capturing the point. It's more so about winning team fights than about like gathering percentage. Does that make sense? So do what gives you the best chance of winning the team fight. Looking on there was fine, because that was pretty lost. Right. Back to Widow on attack. Okay, so what I like to do on Widow on attack is, first off, I don't like this, and here's why. If you let them know you're playing Widow early on, they're gonna start playing around it. But if you let your team engage, let your team, you know, maybe walk around, take a lot of attention, maybe push left, push right, push mid, whatever, they're gonna shift their attention to the left, maybe shift their attention to the right. And while they do that, you can, if you're undetected, you grapple up here for free, and you'll be able to pick somebody off, just like without them looking at you because your team's pushing left or right. So you going for this grapple shot, it puts a lot of attention on you and eliminates your advantage of like being stealthy. Good kill. Watch the res. Save a bullet to stop the res. Damn. This is fine, just don't get hooked. That's just a small mechanics issue. No one there pressuring you besides the hog, and all you gotta do is just back away so he can't get hooked. Alright. On McCree, what do I want to see you do? Your team doesn't have a main tank. I would just go for general damage and wait for an enemy to make a mistake. Two good shots on the Junkrat. Awesome. Well played. She's gonna have res. You can't really stop it. It is what it is. This is fine. I'll just get some health. Good. So against new McCree, I'm not gonna try to go for that that play anymore. Normally, what I would do, McCree a few patches ago, I would go for a headshot and then a body shot. Now it's not capable. That's not possible. You won't two-shot him because 225 HP. Anyway, get some health. I see you pressing the I need healing button. I'll be spamming it, bro. Like fucking glue that shit down. Also, this jump, it's okay. Your fight's lost. Try to get out here. So at this point, something I'm noticing is your tanks aren't really winning versus their tanks. I would start separating and trying to go for my own plays. This is kind of just a like a solo queue mastermind play. If you realize your tanks aren't as good as theirs, you could try to go for picks. Like hopefully you out mechanic the enemy team just straight through picks. Go Junkrat, good job. No, okay. Against Hog, there's kind of like a, you have to wait until he starts healing to flashbang him, or else you're not gonna kill him. I mean, you might kill him here because he doesn't have much hope. But generally, if you dodge his hook, you left click him until he uses his heal, then you stun him out of heal, and then he's sitting there with 100 HP, no abilities, and a massive fucking target. So let's see if you end up getting him. Because look, you don't stun him out of heal, you end up shooting him mid heal, and then he ends up with full HP. And you don't go help the Lucio. What are you doing? He doesn't have hook. Go, go, go. Stun him when someone gets flashed or hooked. That's fine. So yeah. Much better. Push up. And good job staying separate from your team when the tire's coming, by the way, that was good. It didn't seem like you were allowed to get this high ground when you were attacking, like when there's actual fight going on. But if for some reason you're able to get over here, starting the fight up here is fucking massive. Or even just getting here mid-fight, like, let's say your team pushes right and they go this way, and you're able to come up top here, this is so much pressure on the enemy team, especially if you're healed. So, what was I say? Just try your best to again, if your tanks aren't really winning the battles, try to separate from them, make your own play, make a pick. Get a pick, excuse me. Easier said than done with certain characters. Okay, Hog is no hook, you get a fat ult here. Yep, I like it, I like it. Run away, you're in flashbang range there. You end up getting it off before flashbang range, but because you use it in flashbang range, you're forced to pop it early, when instead you could have flashed him from here, and then killed him normally. I would say when you have Deadeye, that's not an ult you play around. And what I mean by that, if you're playing Genji and you have Blade, you're going to want to play around Blade. If you're Junkrat and you have Tire, you want to play around Tire. You know what I mean? Like, ults that you want to commit with, you're going to play differently. When you have Deadeye, it doesn't fucking matter. Just play McCree normally. Actually, I mean, that's not the best advice. The reason is, in your rank is, like, flanking Deadeyes can often get a lot of value. But just in a certain rank, when you're getting a punch for that shit, then you'll notice, damn, these flank Deadeyes really aren't worth it. And I'm better off just playing by myself. Or not by myself. I'm better off playing for my own regular left clicks as opposed to my Deadeye. Okay, also something I've noticed for a lot of lower rank McCrees is they feel like combat roll is such an important ability and they don't use it to reload very quickly. But a lot of the time, shoot 6 shots, reload with your roll, and then shoot 6 more shots. Like, it's great when there's no pressure on you. Alright, cool. Let's see what happens next. Back on McCree. Alright, I think your McCree is better than your Widow, though, so that's good. Looks like your team's running dive. Alright, so when your team dives, I want you either pushing left or pushing right. Either one's fine. Just don't just AFK back here. So, when you see your tanks engaging, you gotta make some kind of big action, you know? Like pushing left or pushing right, that's kind of the big action I'm talking about. You don't really just want to sit back at the choke and let your tanks take all the attention while you're barely poking. It's a fine duel, it's poking, it's whatever. This is absolutely okay. Okay, again, you see your tanks getting ready for a dive. Once you see your tanks doing that, that's when I would be, you know, separating to the left or right, because you're not going to provide much value from here.
60 seconds remaining.
Alright, so doing that, the jump you keep doing, that's pretty good. That gets the same job done as pushing left. The difference is, doing what you did is going to be impossible if the enemy team actually holds up there. Because against a good high rank team, if there's just a Winston jumping me, they're jumping a cluster of like 4 of us on this platform, we're going to be able to push them off easy peasy. And then you can't do what you just did as McCree, but you might be able to come left and take a few good pot shots and get us. You know what I mean? So if they keep dropping back to point, that little, I'm going to call it a rollout, whatever. That jump is absolutely fine. Good job pressuring Mercy. You know you get a pick. You know that pick isn't permanent because they have Mercy. Good job pressuring her. You're not going to be able to stun her out of Valk, so, or stun her out of Res mid Valk, so don't even bother. Here, this looks like a fat Deadeye. There's a Valk. Hell yeah. Awesome. We got the Valk, it's worth it. Now, focusing the nano target is often not worth it, especially if it's a tank. They're going to be taking 50% of the damage you deal, so you're really shooting her for 35 a shot. Is it really worth it? No, not really. I would have saved stun for a higher value target, such as stunning the whole hog. You might have been able to actually kill, but it is what it is. That tripped me out. The fact that it played the noise, but then it fucking actually end. Alright. This is fine positioning. I'm okay with positioning with the team. Keep shooting them. No reason to stop shooting them. You got 2 shields. Normally in lower ranks, I would say don't trust your shields too much, but with you have an Orisa and a Reinhardt, this is where you can start trusting them. Here, creating distance between where they're pushing is good. Just keep spamming that choke. Keep spamming that choke. Keep spamming that choke. Don't take your attention off of it. That's kind of on your Arista, letting the Ryan die there, because he wasted a shield main into absolutely zero. It sucks. Here, no, God, okay. So you're gonna die if you come out of here. You see how close the enemies are to you? Like, okay, they're not that close, but there's just that right click's probably gonna kill you. Yeah. All right. So, uh, walking into their LOS when you have like no team with you, just a Zen who's really not gonna save you. I would have went up here and got to the high ground, got the health pack, and then played up here. Might have been able to carry from up here, but just going into the middle of where the enemy team is gonna be walking in 1 second with like no protection, just not the right idea. Actually, that's gonna be the end of the end of the game, end of the VoD review. All right, so a few things I've noticed. Number one, biggest one is when you're aiming, please just if there's no pressure on you, stand still, take your shots. That was I feel like that was what's making you miss a lot of shots on Widow, and it's making it like a valueless pick because you're just not hitting your shots. It sounds kind of like, oh, just hit your shots, haha. But like seriously, just take your time, take a deep breath. If there's no one pressuring you, get your left hand off your keyboard and just use your mouse to aim. That's much easier to hit shots when you're not having to worry about your own movement. Number two is with Deadeye, you don't have to what's it called? You don't have to play around Deadeye. It's not like a fucking amazing ult. It's not like Dragon Blade, not like Junkrat ult. I call Junkrat ult amazing ult. But you get the point. Like you want to play differently with those ults, not with Deadeye. Deadeye just play like your McCree. And three is when you see your tanks doing something, when you see your tanks engaging, going in, taking attention, blah blah blah. You want to do something. You don't want to just sit back and poke at the choke. You want to move up, capitalize on the fact that they're taking attention, because there's gonna be 4, 5, 6 people looking at your monkey, and you're sitting way past your fall off range, shooting people for 40 damage a shot, missing most of them because they're so small to the fact or to the point that you can't really hit them consistently. So again, when your tanks go in, try to actually push in, get some better positions, shit like that. With all that being said, actually, a positive I'm gonna say is I'm fine with your positioning. Most of the time, it was pretty good. You didn't put yourself in like really separated positions to the point where you're getting dove or like just shit on clearly like a roadhog or something. I think your positioning as a whole is pretty good, especially when you're playing Ana. But when you're on what's it called? When you're on McCree and Widow, it was fine for the most part. Anyway, with all that being said, if anybody watches this and wants a VOD review of their own, let me know in the comments or the Discord in the description. And that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Peace.